Baseball people have talked about Bob Kinley with references such as an all-out hustler when he was out on the baseball field. How did you get that reputation?
Well, I think it became because of every time I played, I was always sliding, so I was usually the dirtiest player on the diamond. My uniform would definitely show that, you know, I was known for that. But I always I like to steal bases. I was diving everywhere, which resulted in a lot of injuries. But when you're all out and you're laying out and stealing bases, you get a reputation for that. So yeah.
What stands out as paramount in your baseball career of your playing days?
Well, I think the fondest memories I have are, the 80s and the 90s, and likely in the early 90s it stopped, but Manitoba, you could travel anywhere in Manitoba and there'd be baseball tournaments. And we had a great team at Elmwood Giants. We had great guys that we enjoyed being together. We were a family. We traveled everywhere on the weekends together. Traveled Manitoba, traveled into the U.S., played tournaments. Tournament ball was outstanding. You would go into a small community. They knew who we were. We would win a lot more than we lost. And it was recognition, and just it was great to travel and meet people throughout the province. And it was an era that is gone now.
Sure.
It isn't here anymore. So it kind of ebb and flows in baseball. There are times when baseball is very prominent. It kind of wanes for a while, and it's kind of reminiscent of previous eras in baseball when there were a lot of tournaments and cross-border tournaments with in the old days, and it disappeared for a while. When the senior league in Manitoba came back, it appeared again, and really it's gone again. I think it's kind of sad, but hopefully it'll come back again.
Cycle, in other words, the cycle will come around again.
Right.
We've associated you with Elmwood Giants, of course, and naturally so for your long time period as a player and as a coach and manager and an organizer with Elmwood.
Right.
But you played with other teams along the way. You were associated with other teams. Any
Right.
that stick out in that regard?
Yeah, River East Raiders was, we were a kind of a mid-grade junior baseball team, but we won the Bison championship for the province. That's 18 and 19-year-old. Had a good team, and I stayed with that junior team till that, and even at the same time the Giants were started up by my brother.
Sure. And
ended up we had two teams in our area that if we had one team we would have won the province, but we had players like my brother, Bill Kinley, Kerry Candy, Randy Ladebrook, who all played for the Elmwood Giants, and I stayed and finished my career with River East Raiders. But the River East Raiders, great players like Tom Wilsoncroft, Ron Knight from rural Manitoba. We had a good team there. Legion 141, I played 1 year of senior. It was before the senior Giants were started. Went there and played with my future coach and playing mate Terry Curlin. With a kind of a good year. We had we didn't do that well. We lost a player through a car accident halfway through. Brian Domes, who was destined for university baseball in the States, and so it kind of threw our season out. But that year was the year we won the Western Canadian Intermediate Championship, and I was on an all-star team that went out to Nanaimo, BC, and that is another great memory.
That's a good highlight for you, sure.
Yeah, it was kind of, the big thing was it was an Air Canada strike. We had no way of getting out there, so we ended up, renting a DC-3 and flying from Winnipeg to I think it was, it was Victoria, but we, landed in Calgary. We hit a kind of a storm over Brandon, and we thought we weren't going to make it. The wind was bucking us around so bad that we were a lot of us were ready to die.
This is long before you even get to the playing field.
Yeah, you bet. So then we landed in Calgary for a bucket of chicken, and up we went again over the mountains, and it was great. We ended up winning the championship there, and just a lot of great players.
Sure. Yeah. Bob, many of us grew up in the North End and in Elmwood with a feeling for the Elmwood Giant organization all the way up the line. And I'm sure the fact that there still is an Elmwood Giant team has to be a source of satisfaction to people like yourself who put so much time in a Giant uniform.
Yeah, for sure. When I grew up, there was no Elmwood Giants, but there was always that history we knew of, playing at the Chalmers Community Center, and there was a history behind the Giants that never was lost. Right. And it's I think Al Kinley, my brother, was instrumental in bringing that back. He's a historical buff and always brought those memories back of the old days. And when the Giants came back into existence, it was a big deal. There was a big fanfare, and it's 100 years or over 100 years of history, and the Giants are a big part of that baseball history.
Something exceptional.
It's exceptional, yeah.
And finally, how about your membership in the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame? What does it mean to you personally?
It's a great honor. Recognition by your peers is always great. Biggest thing for me is that it honors my teammates as well. It's not just me. You never make it alone. There's many of my teammates that are there as well. Kerry Candy, Randy Ladebrook. And I thank all the guys that I played with, because you make it as a team, and that brings you into prominence. Maybe it's not just yourself, but that's the greatest honor I can give is to my teammates.
The memories and the reflections of Bob Kinley, a member of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame.